How goes it, family? How goes it, family? How goes it? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully, you guys are having a great and exceptional day. It's Saturday. We're going to continuously get the money train going and, check in with everybody, make sure everybody's good to go and all that good stuff. Hopefully, you guys have been having a great weekend. Time flies. It seems like this Saturday just flew by, to be honest with you. But, it could be 10 times worse, in my personal opinion. And I just leave it at that. But check in if you're watching. Definitely do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe. Check out the online store if you have not done so already. Always greatly appreciated to everybody that contributes. Things like, share, and subscribe. So it's always greatly appreciated. All that good stuff. And we're going to get it going. If you're interested, definitely check out GS Partners, Gold Standard Partners. We have the opportunity to become a part of my affiliate marketing team, and you have the opportunity to, buy cryptocurrency, purchase packages and whatnot, make money off of when other people buy cryptocurrency, when you sign people up for your packages and all that good stuff. If you're interested, the link is in the description. And, we're able to go from there, just doing a little housekeeping measures before we get the show started. At the end of the day, if you don't know who the rapper is, Lil Uzi Vert, he's actually from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So that's if you know me, my stomping grounds when it comes to Pennsylvania. That's the area where I love to buy real estate at, because it's, fairly reasonable. Certain counties, the taxes can be a little excessive compared to others. But, when it comes to real estate, it's very reasonable. And Philadelphia is one of them cities that's been getting gentrified and will probably be up to Washington, D.C. Cost of living probably within the next 5 to 7 years. Experts are predicting that. So if you're in the Philadelphia market and you want to stay in the Philadelphia market, it might behoove you to actually start purchasing real estate within that market as soon as possible, family. Just put it out there, right? But anyways, we're talking about this one. The only reason why, and this isn't a new topic, this is actually an old story. However, it boggles my mind. And, we all have our moments where we're young and dumb, have done stupid things, especially when it comes to money. I myself am very guilty of this. So I'm not talking bad about Lil Uzi Vert. I'm not talking bad about what he's done. It's been known that he put a diamond in within his forehead and whatnot. And this has actually made him go viral. This is the reason why people still talk about him to this day. He actually had this pink diamond implanted into his forehead. Now, the fact that he got a diamond implanted into his forehead, I don't really care. However, the amount of money that he's actually still making payments on to this day that he spent on this diamond is what kind of boggles my mind, because it goes to show how, for a community or groups of people that always complain that they don't have any money and they don't have this and they can't do this and they can't do that and whatnot, do a beautiful job of giving other people your money on a regular basis. Now, he spent $24 million on getting a pink diamond implanted into his forehead. If you've ever seen an old movie called Forrest Gump, this is one of my stupid is and stupid does moments. I'm just going to call it like I said, we've all done stupid things, and I'm just highlighting this stupid that has been done. $24 million. Now, before I go further, I'm not trying to get in other people's pockets. People are going to do what they're going to do with their money. That's their business. I'm not dogging this gentleman or getting, trying to talk trash. I'm not being a hater, none of that nonsense. All I'm really doing at the end of the day, if you want me to be honest with you, I'm getting into the aspect of one thing. $24 million, he probably could have bought, with that kind of money, he probably could have bought half of the real estate within the city limits of Philadelphia. I'm just saying. Half of the blocks within Philadelphia, especially even during that time frame when he had this done back in 2017. Because even to this day, you have houses that are sold within the real estate market. And I know not everybody wants to be in the real estate investor space. I get that. But even in that market, he could have bought up half of the city row houses, some commercial lots and things of that nature. Cash money, by the way, and only have to worry about the maintenance, insurance, and property taxes and whatnot. And he would have got more of a beautiful thing called a tax return from good old Uncle Sam investing that kind of money, especially, heck, even during the Trump era when you had the opportunity zones and things of that nature. He could have been looked at it as an investor in the opportunity zones. I'm just saying, I'm throwing it out there because here's the problem. We've had too many generations, and like I said, I'm bringing this up not to be not being a hater, but I'm just bringing out my perspective in regards to these actions. You've had a lot of generations with people that when they leave high school, they start off with $0. They actually start off in debt, thousands of dollars in debt because, you have a lot of parents that have done a beautiful thing of actually ruining their kids' credit before they even leave high school or the moment that they come out the womb, because with a lot of credit cards, you don't have to do verification of a lot of times employment, verifications of Social Security. And even if then there's not a employment verification. That's why when people leave high school, they can get access to all this cash for credit cards and student loans, but they can't get a loan for a house, or they can't get a loan to start a business and whatnot. It's a beautiful strategy. Anyways, you have a lot of parents that screw their kids' credit up by actually the moment that they come in the world, they actually open up a couple of credit card accounts. They actually put bills in their kids' names. A lot of people do this crazy nonsense. Not a fan of it, but hey, a lot of people do this kind of stuff, and it has their kids by the time they leave high school, or the time they even enter college, at square one, and they don't even realize it, that they've been screwed over in the game and things of that nature. Now, a person like this gentleman, and if you watch it, please do the great 3 free things: like, share, and subscribe. If you're not subscribed already, just hit the like button. It's always greatly appreciated. But the biggest problem I see with this is that if you're already at square one in a time frame where a lot of people are getting much more smarter with their money, you're not leaving anything for your loved ones. And then in Lil Uzi Vert's situation, I'm just going to call it like it is. If I was in that position, that kind of money would not be spent on stuff that's not business related, investing related, or making sure everybody within not just my immediate family, but the overarching members of my family with the same last name was good economically, not just on a handout level, but actually, making power moves and things of that nature. Because with that kind of money, even though it was basically it was a loan, who knows what the interest was like and the interest payments that he's making on a $24 million loan. With that kind of money, he could have became, in a sense, the Nipsey Hussle of Philadelphia. I'm just saying, that's just throwing it out there, because when you make those kind of power moves, you can actually do real power things. But if all you're worried about is how you look, to me, that's just on some high school stuff. If you're constantly worried about how you look and what people think about you, then you might as well be trying to go to football practice and making sure that you're not late for class and things of that nature. These aren't the things that you expect grown adults to do. But the main reason at the end of the day I'm talking about this is not to talk bad on him, but to talk on the aspect of financial education is that serious, no matter what the situation may be. It's not a game. It's nothing to play around with. And the one thing that I say this 100% of the time, and I'll probably say this till the day I die, people have been awoken. The beast has been awoken during the pandemic, because people have finally figured out, hey, I have to figure out this financial game. I have to cut my spending. I have to start putting my money into things that grow money. I need to start saving my money. I need to get as financially literate as possible, especially given the fact that you've had more and more people spend more and more time at home. So that has been the lesson learned. But not only that, so say if he didn't want to, Lil Uzi didn't want to, actually go out of his way to buy a bunch of real estate and whatnot. There's a multitude of franchises that he could have invested in with a multitude of partners and whatnot. But once again, it kind of goes back to, being smart with your money, being around the right people, and constantly wanting to grow to this day. Because a lot of times people will put themselves in a position to where that they will not grow. They want to stay stagnated, and they never grow to be the best person that they can be, because they're stuck in a rut into this place that they're in. And they still have this, I call it high school thinking at the age of 25, or high school thinking at the age of 35, 45, 55, et cetera, and so forth. People can be guilty of this on a multitude of levels all the time. You know what I mean? But there's a multitude of land that he could have bought, franchises he could have bought into. I mean, like, he could have owned a multitude of gas stations. I mean, let's really think about this. $24 million, gas station franchises, hotel franchises, land, owning acres of land and whatnot. I mean, heck, you can get 160 acres of land in Twin City, Georgia for $480,000 if you're willing to spend millions of dollars on one single freaking diamond, just to have it implanted into your forehead. But it's just like, is this where the stupidity of our culture is really going? It's like, really just dig into that. I've mentioned real estate, I've mentioned land, I've mentioned franchises, all the amount of money that could have been spent on half of the things that were actually put into this one diamond, just so he could stick out more than the rest and actually be talked about more than the rest. It just says a lot, about the stupidity of the world that we live in. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, okay, you're in the music industry, maybe with that kind of money, maybe even buy some places that hold musical events and things of that nature. Get with a business partner that's even talking about things of that nature. So, hey, when the world, especially even now, because, I see the world is opening up more and more. Heck, even California, they letting their gyms open up. That's, so it's like, with that being said, the world is opening up more and more nowadays. And with that being said, when events take place, people are going to go crazy. I know by the time the summertime gets here, I know that by the time the summertime gets here, the airports are going to be flooded. I see my people that are in the travel industry booking flights. And I know that, like, somebody hit me up last night. Hey, are you in the travel industry? Are you a travel planner? No, I'm not. However, I know a bunch of them, and they have their websites available. And I just sent them, that's how we look out for each other too, just by word of mouth. But hey, just by putting their travel websites out there, hey, hopefully that person does business with them. I know by the summertime that hotels, Airbnbs, Ubers, flights, the whole events, because I foresee a lot of outside events taking place, with more and more states, especially in places like Georgia and Texas and whatnot, possibly California, definitely Florida, places like that. Because people want to get out. It's been officially a year. This month makes it a year since the pandemic has taken place. People want to get out and have fun. And then imagine if a person like Lil Uzi Vert would have actually started buying places, put that kind of money, half of that kind of money, into places like that where events can happen, and he could just bank on those kind of events, one, and then two, be in a position where he can actually provide jobs to people in his community and things of that nature. This is the generation of power moves. And those that get it, it means nothing to me if you got the nicest car and the nicest house, but you got nothing growing as far as assets in other places. I'm not impressed by that stuff. I'm not in high school anymore. So somebody walking around with a diamond in their forehead, that's your business. But imagine the amount of food that you're taking off your family's plates and the plates of others, because you don't have a boss mindset to where you can help create opportunities within the communities. Because another thing is, nowadays, most celebrities and athletes are being looked at differently. They're not all meant to be entrepreneurs. I get that. But a lot of times people are not going to, even the younger people, I give them a lot of credit. Even the younger people aren't even paying attention to them that much if they're not talking about economics and growing. There's a reason why, even though it's been over a year since Nipsey Hussle's been killed, he's being talked about more so, not because of his music, but because of what he contributed to his community and to society, and when he was building and the people that he was partnering up with. So that is the imprint. That is the tale that he left when he was taken from this earth. A person like Lil Uzi Vert, he's not going to have that kind of, he's going to be known as the rapper that spent $24 million in making monthly payments and having it implanted, basically implanted into his forehead and whatnot. I know that had to hurt too, but that's what it really boils down to. We live in a time frame where, it's not cool to be stupid, one, even though mainstream media and the music industry like to make it look like it's cool to be stupid, but it's not. They won't talk about, the J. Cole's and people like that. They won't talk about the moguls when it comes to, because a great example, even online, even on social media, even on the YouTube and on Facebook and whatnot. If I came on here speaking like I had a second grade education and I never read books and I was constantly arguing. You notice when I have people on my channel, I don't argue with people, even if we disagree with one another. We act like reasonable adults and say, well, I respectfully disagree, but I understand your point. That's how reasonable people are. Unreasonable people are doing, I'm right 100% of the time. You cannot prove. No, I learn something from people all the time. I don't operate that way, flying off the hinges, going from, 1 to 100, within seconds or whatnot with no real self-control. That's the kind of thing that get clicks, and that's the kind of things that get views on social media. If I had stuff being thrown around and somebody cussing me out, and somebody was in the comment section cussing me out and I responded, going on back and forth, or if I put the link in the chat room and I tell somebody, yeah, you going to say that about me? Well, then, yeah, you come on here. Let's argue it out like a bunch of little kids and whatnot. We're going to argue about this, even though nothing's going to get resolved. But that's the kind of stuff that gets clicks and views and whatnot on social media. And this stupidity that you see with Lil Uzi Vert, that's the kind of stuff that gets clicks and views and whatnot. And that's his claim to fame, because the only reason why I know about Tekashi 6ix9ine is because he snitched. He was a wannabe gangster and he snitched on the people that he was being a wannabe gangster with. The reason why I know about Nipsey Hussle is because he was a businessman. The only reason why I know about Lil Uzi because of the diamond in his forehead. But and that's the only reason why I'm talking about it. I know about Nipsey because of his music and his business astute personality. I know about a J. Cole because of his music and whatnot. So the thing is, at the end of the day, do you want to, and answer me this in the chat room. When you go out in this life, do you want to be remembered as a person that always started drama, always being negative, doing outrageous things to get attention like a little child and whatnot? Or do you want to go out knowing that you were the best parent, spouse, and person that you could be, and being the best person on planet Earth, that you contributed a lot more than just being self-indulged all the time? Let me know in the comment section. If anybody's watching, please hit the like button, and definitely if you want to call in, give me your perspective on the situation. I will put the link in the chat room and we can chop it up and whatnot, because I like to get other people's perspective and not just talk myself. All you have to do is hit the link and you log in and we can talk and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it interests me about this whole dynamic, because it's like I said, we're talking about $24 million. We're talking about $24 million to have a pink diamond implanted onto a forehead. Okay, pink diamond. And the saddest thing, and I will say this about in the African American community, we're infamous. Even though I think a lot of us are getting better about it now, I think it's going to take maybe 2 generations. But we're infamous for letting other people, just giving other people our money and whatnot, and never allowed the money to circulate the family and whatnot. That's what the people who immigrate to the United States, they have a great culture of doing that. A lot of people who immigrated here generations ago have a great culture of that, ensuring that if your last name is Johnson or whatnot, you're going to make sure that the money circles around the Johnson family before you make sure it circles out of anywhere else. It's like Robert Kiyosaki says, you pay yourself first. So, because if you pay yourself first and you pay your family first and you pay your community first, then you allow the money to bounce around other areas, to make the economy strong. And that's a beautiful thing. There's nothing, I have no problem with that. But it's just, I think, like I said, the next 2 generations, I see, I'm not 100% for sure, but I see them actually ensuring that that kids are raised with the mindset of, hey, this is the kind of education you're getting in the school system, but this is the financial education you're going to get in the household and whatnot. It's just like you see Master P right now, and I'm going to go into that in depth on that one a little bit later as I do more research. But he's going from trying to buy an NBA team to buying an actual historically Black owned college, HBCUs, a Black owned college university and whatnot. And I commend him for that. And I imagine one of the reasons he wants to do that is because he wants to, he wants to implement more entrepreneurial, financial minded curriculums within the college education system. And I think that is a beautiful thing, because at the end of the day, the education system is wonderful for what it is. But in today's world, being more, and for a long time, more and more of us are just figuring this out, but other people have known this for generations, like being able to not only invest wisely within a stock market, within a individual retirement account, within, bonds, within actually insurance. People have been making a lot of money off of the insurance industry for a long time. The power of real estate, the power of owning a business and whatnot. Not just what the school system teaches you how to, read, write, math, history, half of it that you don't even need to worry about. And, being prepped to get a good job and whatnot, but never being prepped to, it's like I said, I don't remember getting prepped to own a business or to invest. That was never taught. But being prepped on how to get a good job, that was always taught in the household and in school and whatnot. Is there anything wrong with that? No. But if 20% of the financial education that I've been receiving for the past couple of years would have been implemented within my mind frame, especially back in my early 20s and whatnot, my life would be a little bit different right now. Not saying it's bad now, but I'm just saying I think I'd be a lot further ahead compared to, because I was so busy getting educated in other areas and not getting educated in those specific areas. And more and more people want to know how to play the game, whether how slow it may be or how fast it may be. More and more people want to learn how to play the financial game and play it right. And that's why when they look at a situation like a Lil Uzi Vert, they're like, what the heck, man? This is ridiculous. If you're watching, definitely do me a favor, like, share, and subscribe. If you want to chop game and give me your perspective on Lil Uzi Vert, the link is in the chat room. Be definitely willing to hear your perspective on this matter, because it's real. It's interesting at the end of the day. $24 million. It's like I said, and the sad thing is we've had so many generations, especially of a lot of entertainers and celebrities that have made even half that amount of money, and they blow it half the time on trying to look good, trying to look fancy, try to be, as my mother would say, put in the braggadocious category, but not on the building aspect. And I always commend the ones that have been on the building aspects, your Magic Johnsons, your Shaquille O'Neals, just people that have always been on being business minded, whether they're putting it out there or they're actually just doing it from behind the scenes. The builders are the builders. And I was talking about this with Money Mike last night. He made a very great point by stating this. The economy belongs to the owners, the business owners, and the investors. The economy does not belong to the workers and the consumers. Okay, the workers and the consumers actually make life easier for the investors and the owners, the business owners, at the end of the day. But more and more people don't have that mindset, or don't even want to have that mindset, because they care more about what's going on Netflix or what's going on in some stupid reality TV shows. Like I said, I'd get more views if I had people cussing each other out and yelling at each other and throwing stuff all over the place, and or if my title was Lil Uzi Vert is a punk, or Lil Uzi Vert is terrible, just something to that effect. Guaranteed the views will come in, because people love negativity. That's why the media headlines, it's always something that's fear mongering, and then boom, because they know what's going to get viewed and they know what's not. Positivity just doesn't have that spin on it. Unfortunately, but that's just the God's honest truth. You know what I mean? And it's just interesting the times that we're living in. I mean, heck, if you want to even go more from a real estate perspective, the real estate in Baltimore, Maryland is 10 times cheaper, and Baltimore, Maryland's cost of living is projected to go be at Philadelphia's cost of living within the next 7 to 10 years at the same time. So that's just another story of he could have bought literally row houses after row houses after row houses after row houses, probably up to 50 to 60 row houses within Baltimore, fixing them up for half that price. Okay, of $24 million. But once again, it's like my brother Ron Samuel says, it's all about mindset. And a lot of people's mindset is just not on building. A lot of people's mindset is just on being basic and being happy about being basic. Even when they make a lot of money, people don't realize that the people that there's a reason why you have a lot of celebrities and have a lot of people who are athletes and they end up in the poorhouse. People don't understand why, but it is very true. You know, that's why I've given Marshawn Lynch, I believe, I've done 2 videos about Marshawn Lynch because I've respected what he's done, not only for himself, but what he's actually done within the Oakland, California area by combating gentrification, by buying up residential real estate properties, by actually buying up what is it, commercial real estate, by actually creating jobs within this community, by actually creating foundations to help disadvantaged youth and whatnot in his community. Because the Bay Area is the most expensive part of the Bay Area, California, which is basically San Francisco, Oakland area, that whole triangle, all those Vallejo, California, Richmond, California, all those areas, the most expensive parts of the United States to live in, outside of even New York, as far as the continental United States. I think Hawaii has them beat, or at least Hawaii's running neck with them in regards to affordability. But, you know, that's the kind of stuff to be commended. And we need, no matter what the situation is, people, I'm hoping within the next couple of years, you have more and more schools that are teaching the youth. You know, like I know the Black Business School is doing that, and I'm sure a multitude of other schools. I'm just talking about the ones I know about. You should definitely check them out, especially if you have kids. They're teaching, you know, for a reasonable price. They're teaching children, and in a fun way, on how to become financially literate and successful, whether one wants to be a business owner or one wants to be, you know, have a great career path and things of that nature. Because at the end of the day, like I stated, the business owners and the successful investors are going to be the winners, have been the winners, and will continue to be the winners of this economy and tomorrow's economy. And either way, if you're going to be all workers should be an investor one way or another. And like I said, I'm not telling you what to invest in because I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just saying all working people should be an investor one way or another. Okay. I don't care if you're only putting away $20 a month. That's better than $0 a month. You know, you can buy fractions of a stock or you can buy the whole stock. You know, you can buy fractions of a cryptocurrency or you can buy a whole cryptocurrency, crypto coin. You know what I mean? Fractions of a crypto coin or actually a whole crypto coin. Like I said, not giving out financial advice. I'm just saying these are things you need to look into. And obviously, if you want to go a little bit deeper, contact your financial professional. But a person in this situation, it boggles my mind that there's not a little bit more outrage about the situation, even though it's the situation's old. But I made a poem about why is it cool to be stupid. And, you know, I don't care what background you are, unless you're not cognizant of your well-being and whatnot, and you have some serious issues. Like I said, I'm not talking bad about anybody that does that, but if you're in that category, you know, the money's supposed to work for you. You're not always supposed to work for it. And when you're in a situation where you can afford to spend millions of dollars on things, you're supposed to be in even a bigger category so that money can work for you. Because if not, here's the beautiful thing about Uncle Sam. If you don't learn how to make money work for you, he'll make sure that he's going to make sure that he's going to make the money work for them. Okay, just like any company does when they're trying to solicit a product for you to buy. Okay, my boy Money Mike said it the best one time. He said, you know, if you don't have a plan for your money, somebody else does for you. Okay, and a lot of people that are putting this, you know, because the crazy thing is, what if, you know, just forbid this happens, but what if he ended up in a situation where he couldn't rap anymore because something happened to his vocal cords, or he ended up in an accident or something? Like I said, I'm not wishing nothing bad on nobody, but if that happened, what is the backup plan? What is the alternative? Like I said, I think the newer generation of people going into any industry nowadays, whether it's the music industry, sports industry, you know, medical industry, whatever have you, you know, military, people know that they have to have backup plans from economically, you know, just like you have to have a backup plan in case something bad happens at your place, something bad happens to your vehicle. You know, you got to have a backup plan when it comes to something bad happening to your money, to your income stream. You know, and I'm, like I said, I'm very, very happy. I'm the first one to say I'm very happy that the U.S. economy is opening back up. I think that's something that's needed to happen for a long time. But I understand why it's been shut down for everybody's safety. And I implore a safe category, even though places are opening up, because, hey, like I said, we're all over the pandemic. mentally, physically, and spiritually. I get it, but I implore everybody to remain in the safe category because, I don't want a repeat of last year. That's all I got. And I think most reasonable people don't want a repeat of last year of having the force to be stay at home and things of that nature. Forced to not being able to travel like that because this thing could happen. We're not out of the woods yet, and you got to remain safe as possible. But like I said, Lil Uzi, I'm not hating on him. It's his life. You do what you do. It's his money. I'm not in the fan, I'm not in the club of trying to count other people's money and whatnot. But I know that situations like these can be avoided more so if people just have the proper financial education. Because right now, outside of a skill set, that is becoming the most outside of a skill set in health. Education, financial education is becoming a must, whether people want to realize it or not. It's becoming the law of the land, whether people want to realize it or not. Because if you don't have it, somebody's going to make sure that they have it so that they can dominate over you. That the true measure of freedom is what one can do with their time and who owns their time. Do you own your time? Do you want to own your time? That's the thing. What are you putting your time and energy into? Most of the times people are putting their time and energy into things that don't generate income. Most times people are stressing over things that don't generate income. I'm not going to apologize for not stressing out over things that are not life threatening and are not producing income. I'm keeping it real. I'm not going to do that, whatsoever. This is the time frames that we're living in right now. And we need to be able to generate income on a multitude of levels, not just from a financial level, but definitely from a social capital level, definitely from a health perspective. There's so many ways to just generate keeping currency in your circle by just checking up on people, keeping in contact with people, and going from there, exchanging ideas with people. That's a great way to continuously keep currency in your circle and to keep moving forward and to continuously make money moves. That's all I got to say. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And like I said, people like Lil Uzi Vert, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. And at the end, my mindset right now is like, if you're in a position to continuously learn about financial education and put yourself in a position to where you can turn your job into an option, continuously move forward on that one. But if you're in a position where you're in a career and you just want to be simple and be basic and just pay your bills and go to your job, and by golly, that's the greatest thing ever. You're putting yourself in a vulnerable position. It's kind of like driving along a cliff and hoping that a mudslide doesn't happen or a major snowstorm doesn't happen, because you're playing a lot more Russian roulette. And people don't realize that anymore. The last generation, Gen X, was the last generation. I said this on my last live, to be able to say, I don't have to worry about making money in my sleep. Millennial generation, Generation Z, is in that position now that we have to make money in our sleep in order for our survival. It amazes me, and I read this the other day. Up to almost 70% of working Americans don't even have access to a retirement account on any level. So if you fall in this category and you're over the age of 25, I'm not talking about my teenagers working at retail and fast food. I'm talking about my folks that are over the age of 25, and you don't have some sort of a 401k plan, which is a retirement plan or individual retirement account. It's in your best interest to talk to a financial professional to see how you can get one. I'm not saying you have to go out and get one and everything's going to be all right, but I'm saying having something is better than nothing, and consult the people who can give you the best advice on how to go about it, because I'm not the guy. I just know I've had one for most of my adult life, and I'm going to keep it that way. So, I've had a couple, but you have to have, it's not the end all, the be all, but it's just this having zero thing is just like, there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be in their 50s and 60s, banking on Social Security alone. And I don't know what to say. So I'll leave it at that. All right. But do the great 3 free things, family. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out the online store. Definitely support your local businesses. It's always greatly appreciated. See, my Cash App went off a couple of times. So thank you guys for the donations. It's always greatly appreciated. And the PayPal donations. Thank you guys very much. Like I said, if you're interested in, cryptocurrency still going strong. Today I bought some groceries with cryptocurrency with my block card. Loved every single moment of it. So, we're going to continuously make money moves on all levels this year and move forward. All right. So check out the online store, support your small businesses, and it's always greatly appreciated. Wish somebody could have came on tonight. Would have been nice to get somebody's perspective on Lil Uzi, but I get it and totally respect it. Like I said, at the end of the day, it will forever boggle my mind that people will spend millions and millions of dollars on things that don't generate income. And I know it's just because it's just a lack of financial literacy, a lack of discipline. That's one thing that financial literacy and working out and eating right have in common. It's that one word of discipline. I always have my word of the day, right? Monday through Friday, my word of the day and my quote of the day. But really the word of every single day should be some sort of discipline, okay? In what you eat, on how you work out, on what you consume, especially from an information standpoint, what you're watching from a media standpoint, because most people just, watch instead of, that's why social media is such a big thing now. But what you consume, because, a lot of times you can tell half the time by when people just open their mouths. Like I said, you never judge a book by its cover, but you always judge by the actions and the information that's involved within that book. So you can just tell half the time you having a conversation with somebody that what they're really into, and half the time it's not going to be anything that's on the generating of income or just uplifting someone's subconsciousness or growing from any aspect. Some people just remain stagnated and are happy about it. It's the old saying a lot of times, face it, you're going nowhere and you're thrilled to death about it. And a lot of people are in that category, and then they wonder why they can't progress. They think it's everyone else. And hey, I'm guilty of this as well. I'm not casting stones in the glass house. We had that internal conversation with ourselves, at least most of us should, say, hey, what am I doing wrong here? How can I regroup? How can I, move forward and whatnot? Because like I said, honestly, my number one allergy I have right now is the basic mindset. And I can just put it like that. Some people want to remain that way, and that's cool. And we all have to learn, and we all have to grow at our own pace. All right. So take care, family. Have a great night. All the support is always greatly appreciated. Hopefully you checked out my interview that I was on last night with good old Michael Macklin. It was a great discussion with my brother. We was talking about real estate, all aspects of it, from, real estate agents to tax liens to wholesaling, all that great stuff. So it was definitely a great conversation. We was chopping it up and we were going from there. So definitely check out Mike Macklin. Great brother, very intelligent. I always learn something when I have a conversation with him, and men like Mike Macklin. I always, just people like that in general, not just men and women like him. I love to engage with on a regular basis because I could always learn something. All right. So take care, family, and I'll see y'all later.